So today's video is going to be about how I developed multiple sources of income from my dorm room while in university. So I remember when I was in third year of university, I was about 20 or 21 years old, and I got asked by someone sitting across from me at a table, someone who was in my program, hey Jack, how are you making money during university? By the way, it's really early in the morning here, so the lights may be a little bit dim. But yeah, how are you making money in university? Like, what do you do? What's your job? And I remember saying it's kind of hard to explain because I have like 5, 6, 7 sources of income. There we go. We're going to turn the lights on here. But it wasn't always like this. I actually, when I just got into university, I only had one source of income. As you guys know, I had my corporate job. I got that when I was about 17 or 18 years old. And oh Jesus, I think I broke another light. Yep, I totally broke it. And this light is broken. That is just great. But anyways, we're going to get back to the story here. So I had my main corporate job when I was about 17, 18 years old. And that was good. It was paying me like about $30 an hour. I think when I started, it was about 25, and then it was about $30, $35 an hour. And I had my own hours. But trouble started happening because I was in a fairly competitive university program that required a lot of my time. We're talking like I had to be in class 40 hours a week. There was tons of labs, and I couldn't really keep up with those two things alone. And also the other thing too was that I was in a relationship, so I pretty much did not have time for anything. Now luckily at this corporate job, I only really had to go into the city office maybe a couple times a month, and I could actually have my computer and work from my dorm room doing my corporate job, which was kind of it was a mix of like a real estate and demographics and geography kind of stuff. I won't bore you with that. But so that was one main source of income, was that corporate job, and that was pretty good, but I had to start thinking about other sources of income because I knew I couldn't sustain this. I mean, I was not sleeping. I had pretty much to work 8 to 10 hours a day on school because I was in class 7 hours a day roughly, and plus I had this corporate job which required about 6 hours a day at least of work, and then I also had a relationship and she was in the same city too, so I had these 3 giant things that I had to take care of, and I knew that I could only choose 2 of these. And so I decided one day that I decided to quit the corporate job, and I would bet that the relationship would last, and I would bet that I would graduate from school. One thing was that relationship did not last, and 2, I guess I graduated, but my degree wasn't as important once I started getting into business. So we're going to talk about that multiple streams of income now and what I did, because I knew that once I quit my corporate job, I needed to make some more money doing other things, so I did have to start trying out some side businesses, and pretty much all of these except for one was online. So I still had my corporate job when I was making these, by the way, so I'm counting that as one. So I had that, and then I decided one day that I would try out this YouTube thing. But the YouTube thing wasn't like this. It wasn't vlog style videos like this. I actually had the science channel, which you guys know called Jacksci, and I had a couple of videos there take off, and that would pay me anywhere from very minimum like $100 a month. It was usually more than that. $100 a month to 1 month I think I made close to $1,000. And so that became my main source of passive income right when I started everything. And this is something that you guys can easily do if you're in university right now. People think that in order to make a YouTube video, it needs to be super high quality, needs to be super prepared and have a big set like this going on with all these lights here. You don't need that. When I started out, it was, maybe I'll share a picture of this. I don't even know if I still have it, but I had a makeshift green screen. Like this is a normal screen right here that I have for a background. I had a makeshift green screen literally hooked up on my wall. It was just pieces of cardboard, and it was right at the foot of my bed, and my room was small. My dorm room was small. It was like 10 by 10 feet. roughly with an ensuite bathroom, I guess, which was only like 4 feet by 4 feet or 5 feet by 5 feet. It was a pretty small dorm room, but that's where I filmed all my videos. You know, what's funny is that when I started making those videos, they were so bad, but you know what? They were, every time I made one, it would bring in like $50, $60, which was pretty good. I would spend anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on them, 8 hours, and then I eventually got more hours put in and a higher reward once my channel started taking off. But those videos, which were completely terrible, yeah, they got tens of thousands of views. What I'm trying to say here is that, yeah, like you guys can do stuff like that. Even if you were to do a PowerPoint video and you were to talk about something that interests you, you don't even have to be in front of the camera. It could just be you screen capping something and talking over it. Like, you see those guys like Scarce? And what's the other guy? There's Scarce and I don't know, you know those people that have gaming stuff going on in the background, and then they talk about like YouTube drama. That's what you can do. That it's super easy. You don't have to be on camera. You just have to talk and be consistent and upload every day, and you can make a solid passive income off that while in university, while in your dorm room, pretty much from your computer. So those were two sources of income while I was in university, my main corporate job and YouTube income. And then I decided one day to try out selling stuff online for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is exciting. And so I actually had an online clothing store. It was a Zazzle store. So what a Zazzle store is you get to pretty much design your own clothing, have your own store, except you don't have to handle any of the shipping, you don't have to handle any of the making of the product. You literally make a design, and every time you sell a shirt, a sweater, pair of pants, I don't think I sold shoes, but anytime you sell any sort of article of clothing, depending on what your pricing is, you could make anywhere from $1 to $5 to, I don't know, $10 if you priced it right. And so usually that wasn't like a too big of a source of income for me. I mean, I actually have no idea how many I've sold, but I think that there was a month where I did like 10 or 15 sales, and so when you add that up, it's only like $100 or something like that, or $50. I don't even remember, but again, 50 to $100 for a lot of people, that's good, especially since I did that from my dorm room. That can help you pay for rent, that could help you pay for living expenses, or booze, like for a lot of university students. But not me, I didn't drink. So that was another source. I started a Zazzle store and started selling stuff. Now, a third source of income, which a lot of you know me for, is stocks. Now, this was actually really rewarding especially for about 1 year. I made a profit of like $5,000 or something like that in 1 year. So pretty much what happened was I started investing in stocks when I was 18 or 19 years old, but because I wanted to make more money in the stock market, I started paying more attention to it and investing more of my money. So if you guys don't know my story, a lot of you probably do if you watched my Stock Market for Beginners video. You guys know that I invested, I think I was, I forget if I was 20 or 21 years, I think I must have been 20 years old. And I invested in Apple, Nike, and a tech company within a month of each other. I invested in all those three things, and at that time the Canadian dollar was roughly the same as the American dollar in terms of value. I think the Canadian dollar was like 97 cents compared to the American dollar. And what happened was I bought Apple, Nike, and a stock called Tech Systems, and they all took off in 1 year, in one full calendar year. Apple, I had pretty much a 90% return in 1 year because the Canadian dollar tanked. And so when I sold it, I got a bonus 30% bump in Canadian dollars. Same with the Tech Systems, and same with the Nike stock. All of those went up at least 30% for me. 30% to 90%. So what happened was, I made I think it was $5,000 or $4,000 or something like that in 1 year while in university. And so that definitely helped out. I mean, I didn't really put in any hours into that apart from a couple hours of research at the very beginning. So that was definitely a main source of income for me. I ended up getting sick, which I guess I have to talk about in two more sources of income. I'll talk about it. But I ended up getting sick and had to sell my stock to pay for drugs and things of that sort. So that source of income was great. That 1 year, that was my favorite. that was my favorite source of income at that time. Now it's a lot different. So we're going to move on to the next one here, which was I started using Facebook ads to sell stuff, just affiliate stuff, commission stuff, and using sites like ClickBank and Amazon and all that. And I just ran Facebook ads, and I became a decent affiliate marketer. But saying that, I didn't. It required a lot more time than I thought. When I started selling stuff, like I had to set up a website, and every single ad would take some time, and I wasn't that into it, but still, I was making money. And this is something that all of you guys can do. If you guys just sign up to be, an Amazon affiliate, go to ClickBank, you can get 40% commissions to almost to 50%. I think that most people only go up to 49% commission because that's just what they do. So anyone can do this. Just sign up for one of those sites that does some sort of commission and run some Facebook ads, target your audience properly. You can do it from your dorm room. You don't even need to record anything or be on camera or produce content or produce a product. Anyone can do it. And I know that there are a lot of, actually, I should recommend that you follow. There's, oh my goodness, what is the guy's name? I think the YouTube channel is called The Deadbeat Affiliate. I think that, sorry if I butchered it. But I actually think that's what the channel name is. And this is someone who is probably around the same age as me. And he just talks about affiliate marketing. And it's seriously, you guys can make some serious money if you do that properly. And yeah, it doesn't require too much money up front, maybe a few $100s. And then yeah, you can start selling some stuff from your dorm room like I did. And now one last thing that I want to talk about is actually right before I got sick, I don't really mention this too much, was that I had become recently certified as a personal trainer. I know I don't really look like it right now because at the time I had a really nice six-pack and I was in really good shape, and I became certified, and I was good to go to teach P90X, and in places like this studio, I would have taught in places like this. This is a converted studio. And that was actually going to become my main source of income. Like, I was probably going to become a personal trainer if if my kidneys didn't start failing. So there was that, and that were 6 sources of income. Plus, I didn't really count these, but I did make some dividends on some previous stocks I had bought. I think that there were a lot of iShares and ETFs, but it was pretty much negligible. When you're only invested like thousands of dollars, a few $1,000s here, a few $1,000s there, picking up $50, $100, a year. I didn't really count that, but I did pick up some dividends there too. So I had about 6 sources of income before I quit my corporate job while I was in university, and that's what I did. Most of it was from my dorm room. I mean, the personal training stuff, I needed to actually get up and do stuff. But you guys can start any of these. But you guys can start pretty much any of these apart from maybe the personal trainer one. I mean, these are all done from your computer, and so it just requires you guys to actually go out and learn how to do some of these things. Like the YouTube income is probably the best way to go, maybe not right now, because I actually just posted this video on Facebook. By the way, go follow me on Facebook. I'm going to probably start posting some 2-minute clips about my thoughts and money every now and then. There was this YouTube ad boycott about a month ago, and advertisers took out almost $1 billion worth of advertising on YouTube. So a bunch of creators are going up whore and leaving YouTube right now. So actually, you know what? I should mention this too, is that right when stuff is going bad and right when there's a crash, that's probably the best time to get in. When everyone's getting out of YouTube, that might be the best time to go in. It's just like how the best time to invest in the stock market is during a recession when everyone's scared, when all the prices are down. And the same thing with real estate. Like I'm really excited for if a real estate crash happens in the next, hopefully it doesn't happen in the next 6 to 8 months, but if it happens next year or 2 years, I'm ready to pounce on that baby. That'll be really exciting. So now's the perfect time to start a YouTube channel. When everyone's pulling out and when all the advertisers are pulling out and when people can't continue their channel and they're not making videos as much, that's a good time to jump in. Start right now. If you want to make a YouTube income, make $100 to $1,000 a month for most people. Right now, I'm doing more than that. I think that this month, YouTube ad revenue was down for me substantially last week, but it's bounced right back up. I think that it'll bring me in about $2,000 to $2,000 this month, maybe a little bit more than that. So again, you guys can make some money on YouTube. I would recommend you guys doing that from your dorm room, or affiliate marketing, or starting a Zazzle store, or a clothing store, or just doing like a Fiverr. I mean, I've talked about this in how to make $100 a day online. There's lots of stuff. If you're skilled in graphic design, if you're skilled in any sort of freelance stuff, sign up for one of those online freelance sites. You can make logos for people and make anywhere from, $5 is not worth it, but people get paid $5 to $100 sometimes, especially if you're going to make multiple logos and you have this client forever. You can make hundreds of dollars a month by just signing up for that freelance site. Now there's other stuff too, like you can transcribe videos in your spare time from your computer, from your dorm room, and make, I think that average is like $15 an hour for doing that. I forget what the number was. You're going to have to go check out that video, but anyways, I'm trying to say that there's lots of ways to make money from your dorm room, and most of it comes from just filming stuff or doing stuff from your computer. And that's just what I did. I did those main 6 things, which were I had my corporate job, which I could work from my computer. YouTube income, the Zazzle store, trading stocks, affiliate links, and personal training stuff. So I think that's going to kind of wrap it up. Oh, and my microphone disconnected. That's going to wrap it up. Hopefully you didn't mind me moving around too much in this video. I actually kind of like doing that. I might do that more. But I'd like to thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people. I'll see you guys in the next video.